Tonight marks WWE's celebration of 20 years of John Cena. So the leader of the C Nation showed up to help kick off the festivities. The other big story to continue this week was the ongoing feud between Kevin Owens and the Samson siblings, Elias, Ezekiel, and the youngest brother, Elrod. This week was also the go-home show before Money in the Bank, so plenty of time was spent hyping the pay-per-view. Let's take a look at what went down during the matches from tonight's show, for this is Ridiculously Raw. Welcome, everybody, to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube and Streamy.com today. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF, Michael Fletcher, and, of course, the phenom, Michael Bullock. Of course, Bullock and I coming off another one of our legendary Raw chats, as always. And, gentlemen, happy Money in the Bank week. And what a way to start it off. We'll get to the Cena stuff in a bit, because we didn't start it with that, believe it or not. It actually started with what they called a last chance Money in the Bank Battle Royal qualifier for the men's side. The entrants included Mustafa Ali, Shanky, R-Truth, Shelton Benjamin, Dolph Ziggler, Jinder Mahal, Akira Tozawa, Reggie, Ciampa, The Miz, Ricochet, AJ Styles, T-Bar, Veer Mahan, Rey and Dominic Mysterio, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Riddle. The winner of the match in 19 minutes and 25 seconds, Riddle. Michael Bullock, hit me with it.
Bro.
So lifelike, isn't it? But anyways, yes, it was the bro. Riddle is going to Vegas. He is going to the Money in the Bank ladder match. But yet there's still one spot left. We'll probably find out what happens with that Friday night on SmackDown. But all right, now, as we always say when it comes to Battle Royal, Battle Royals, tricky, especially when everyone starts in the ring at the same time instead of coming out one by one like the Royal Rumble. Akira Tozawa was the first elimination after about a minute, and then the rest of the eliminations were spaced out over several minutes. So it never felt like we were seeing multiple people thrown out at the same time in a way that was difficult to follow. This match included some skilled veterans who had plenty of fun moments and decent action. However, this was no different than any other random battle royal we have ever seen. It was good, but not overly memorable, which is fine because we don't need every match to be the best thing ever. Sometimes it just needs to be good to keep the story moving along. It all came down to AJ Styles and Riddle before The Miz revealed his injured leg was a ruse and eliminated Styles. The bro and the A-lister fought until Riddle hit an RKO on the apron to take out The Miz and claim the win. And what else is there to say? I mean, Ricochet had the best spot in the match with T-Bar and one of the ladders that was at ringside. And the fact that Styles, Ricochet, Ziggler, and Shelton Benjamin had to fight for one of the last spots is kind of sad because all of those guys should be in this match already. And that's really all there is to say on that. But you know, they're usually very tricky to rate. But I'm actually gonna give this in excess of 3.25 to 3.5 stars. I mean, I felt this was one of the better battle royals. It wasn't overly memorable or anything, but you know, the action was good. It was given a lot of time, and you know, we had an exciting finish there with Riddle and Miz on the apron, which was which was one of the sick RKOs Riddle's ever done. So Riddle could be one step closer to possibly finding a way into getting another shot at the Undisputed Universal Championship. All he's got to do now is win the contract on Saturday night, and don't sleep on him. He's a sleeper and a dark horse, and I know we'll get more into this on Friday night when we preview the show. But 3.25 to 3.5 for the effort. One of the better battle royals I've seen in some time. And it's always good to see these high stakes battle royals. So not much more to say. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, come on in. Riddle winning this last chance Money in the Bank qualifying battle royal, the Bro is going home to his hometown of Vegas.
Yeah, that's gonna be, and like you said, he's probably not gonna be the odds-on favorite, but he definitely is a favorite. He definitely could win Money in the Bank, get a shot once again at Roman Reigns or whoever the undisputed WWE Universal Champion is. Because remember, the contract can be used anytime, any place, anywhere up to 1 year. So, without a doubt, the moment has to be right for the Money in the Bank holder. And it could happen at any time. So, you got to be calculated enough. You got to wait for the right possible moment to react to it. And it very well could be um, at SummerSlam at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, because as you know, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, undisputed WWE Universal title fight was announced as last man standing. That is the most opportune moment for the Money in the Bank holder, and it's almost a given that it could be that. So we'll wait and see how it plays out. But yeah, there's no doubt in my mind it's going to be excellent. Riddle winning it, 3.25 stars. Look, you gotta give credit where credit's due. This could have gone a number of ways. There was a few guys that was in the ring, especially once we got to like that final 8, final 7, that you could legitly say deserve to be in Money in the Bank. I mean, especially towards the end, there was definitely some guys that you definitely saw that you'd be like, they would be perfect for the Money in the Bank ladder match. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Bullock, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
The battle
Yeah,
royal.
I had something by accident. So yeah, so 3.25 to 3.5. I do agree. I mean, this was definitely a good battle royal, and yeah, I mean, and Fletch makes some good points. Obviously, I mean, with Lesnar and Reigns facing off, last man standing, it could be a huge opportunity for a cash in. But will it happen? Only time will tell. But and like you said, there's only one spot left. We could find out come Friday night to see who gets the last spot. But to me, Riddle definitely deserved it, especially with it being in his with him being in his hometown. So yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to add to this. So it's yours, Florio.
And of course, as part of the 20th anniversary of John Cena, we got a lot of video messages, and you noticed even some current AEW talents who were former WWE talents even got to share messages. In the first round, we had Shawn Michaels, Paul White, The Big Show, Booker T, Bryan Danielson, Trish Stratus, and Triple H in the first round. And Bullock and I during our Raw chat, we couldn't believe when we saw The Big Show and Bryan Danielson, but there were plenty more to come throughout the night. So next up, we had a match here. It was Montez Ford versus Jey Uso. Now, I had overheard that supposedly there was going to be a caveat here, and that caveat was that whoever won that team would earn the right to pick the stipulation for the undisputed tag team championship match Saturday night at Money in the Bank. It was Montez Ford versus Jey Uso, and Montez Ford wins the match 9 minutes and 50 seconds with the From the Heavens Frog Splash. MF, big win for Montez Ford. Momentum for the Profits. Can they keep it going into this huge tag team title showdown Saturday night?
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of have a feeling like this definitely will be a major test for them. The road does get a lot more better for them. And yes, Anthony, you even said it correctly that when they won the match, and this was addressed, that there would be a special stipulation by the winning team. So maybe they play this off on Friday night on SmackDown and reveal what that stipulation is, because at the end, it was supposed to be him. The Profits are supposed to get that leg up. So with that said, it's going to be very interesting to watch. This was a solid match too. Profits and Usos can't go wrong. Individually, they're just as good. I expect the tag team title match on Saturday to be amazing. At the end of the day, I'm gonna call this. I thought this was one of the better matches of the evening. So this was what I believe was a solid at least a solid 3. So Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, this to me was a solid 3, maybe teetering on 3.25, based on the body of work of this match. I mean, yeah, definitely a nice win for Montez Ford and giving the Street Profits the momentum going into their undisputed tag team title match. So, yeah, Friday night, I think we're going to find out what the stipulation will be. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more for me to say. So it's yours for you.
3.25 stars for me on this one. I still have not seen any mention. I mean, they teased it, but I don't know if they're actually going to follow through with it. But anyways, yeah, I mean, like MF said, I mean, you can't go wrong here. I mean, this was a fantastic match. These two know each other well after having had several matches over the last few years, so they knew exactly what to do to make this bout entertaining. Angelo Dawkins and Jimmy Uso did a good job playing their roles at ringside as well. Like many of the chapters in the story between them, this was fun, but still felt like something we have already seen many times in recent weeks. And after hitting a brutal tope suicida, Montez Ford was able to nail Jey Uso with a massive From the Heavens Frog Splash for the win. 3.25, teetering on 3.5, but it was more 3.25. A little more, maybe I would have talked 3.5, and that's really all there is to say on that. So definitely looking forward to that match on Saturday night, no question. And then from there, we had another thing with John Cena. They focused on Cena's in-ring career, his work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, 659 wishes and counting, by the way. And of course, tribute to the troops and his Hollywood career, obviously, with all the movies and the hosting that he's done. And that's all. So, and then we had an in-ring segment, Kevin Patrick interviewing The Miz. And unfortunately, that Logan Paul has surfaced again. And you remember it was The Miz and Logan Paul in tag team action against the Mysterios at WrestleMania. Miz and Logan Paul won that match. And then Miz turned on Logan Paul after the match. And Miz was like, oh, it's okay. It was a teaching moment, blah, 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 blah. And Logan was okay with it. He understood. So we're going to be a tag team again. Yeah, phony baloney, I call that. I think it's going to be setting up for a match with The Miz and Logan Paul at SummerSlam. That's just my thought. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But for right now, let's see what we got here. And then it was interrupted by AJ Styles, and it led into a match. The phenomenal AJ Styles versus The Miz. AJ Styles wins the match via a countout in roughly 12 and a half minutes. Michael Bullock, we talked about this during our Raw chat, and we said, while the match was great, while it was a solid match, unfortunately, we're going to have to knock it down a peg because of the countout finish. And it wasn't like it was a decisive countout. Miz walked away and intentionally got himself counted out. And we all know why now, don't we?
Yeah, I think because as JR would say from SummerSlam 2001, the man beat AJ Styles.
That's not where I was going. I was going for the Phenomenal One song. What did he want?
Oh, all right. He doesn't want none.
Damn right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, I can only give this 3 stars. I mean, I want to give it 3.5, but because of this BS finish with The Miz getting himself counted out, I can only give it 3 stars. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I really don't get that. I mean, The Miz, I mean, he's a tough. I mean, he wants to prove he's a tough guy. So why doesn't he basically man up and finish off AJ Styles? But he decided to take a powder. But yeah, I mean, I did see the picture of Logan Paul surfacing, and I think it's going to lead to Logan Paul against The Miz at SummerSlam. And quite frankly, and I can't believe what I'm going to say about this, guys. I really hope the two of them beat the living hell out of each other, and there's no winner, but there can only be one, but we'll wait and see. So it's yours, Florio. 3 stars is my rating.
I was going to give it 3.5 as well, but I'm going to drop it down to 3 to 3.25 because of Miz, taking the powder and getting counted out there. But these are 2 guys who are both seasoned veterans, but they also have good chemistry from having worked together before. So everything they did looked like it went exactly as planned. This match got more time than expected and ended up being a solid performance for both guys. Unfortunately, we were robbed of a good finish when The Miz got himself counted out intentionally and on purpose. And that's all there is to say on that, except one other thing, and that is AJ Styles, I believe, should be in the world title picture again. The crowd still absolutely loves him. And that's just all I can say there. So 3 to 3.25 for this because of the count out finish. MF, Miz taking his ball and going home, forfeiting the purse money.
Yeah, he definitely is going to get the short end of the purse money on this one tonight, no doubt about it. Normally you don't run away from a fight. That's normally one of those cardinal rules you don't do in professional wrestling, but rules are meant to be broken. And like you said, maybe he didn't want none of AJ Styles because of what AJ brings to the table. But I don't know. It was one of those rare times where The Miz would do that, but and you saw the look on AJ. Yeah, he got cut. He got a little cut over the nose, but he was not happy. He was very upset. He was like, "What the heck, man? I wanted a fight. I didn't want to duck and run. I didn't want to win it that way." But he did. So, I mean, good win for AJ. Even though it was one of those type of situations. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, there's really nothing more to add. So, Anthony, it's yours.
Okay, and then we had another round of testimonials for John Cena. Here's another great round: Kurt Angle, Randy Orton, JBL, another AEW talent, Chris Jericho, Stephanie McMahon, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, all delivering their testimonials to John Cena. And then we had another in-ring segment, Kevin Patrick with the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair called out her opponent Saturday night, Carmella. Carmella came out and, they had their little segment there. We're gonna bypass this because this wasn't anything really special, to be honest with you. And neither was this match really. Alexa Bliss versus Liv Morgan. You would think this would be a solid match, but Liv Morgan does win the match, 3 minutes and 20, but it ended up only being 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Oh, what a shame. I mean, these two could have had a nice little match here. They really could have, but unfortunately they did not. The match they had was mostly a series of standard wrestling moves because they were both trying to be respectful. So we did not see a lot of brawling or cheap shots. When it was all said and done, Morgan was able to score the win without any cheating, interference, or shenanigans. Decent match, but nothing to write home about. A few more minutes would have helped a lot, like I said. So I could probably give this like 1.5 MF.
The reason why I needed to voice this is because, look, for once WWE did something that was a little different. And here's the reason why I'm saying this. Normally we get heel versus heel, but this is one of the rare times where you get face versus face. And there was really no shenanigans, which is actually refreshing for once. It's like a breath of fresh air. Let these go at it. Let them have a good, clean match, one-on-one. Liv wins, great. That gives a lot of momentum for her. And let me tell you something. There is a underground support by the WWE Universe and by a lot of wrestling fans a lot around the world to say Liv deserves to win the Money in the Bank on Saturday.
Amen.
I mean, a lot of people are going out on a limb and it's calling for Liv to win it all. Now,
hey, Nikki won it last year. Nikki ASH. Let's not forget last year with Nikki.
Yeah, but Nikki was more of a shocker. Liv is a favorite that the fans want to see.
I like to see it too.
I don't believe at the time was a favorite. She was a major underdog. Nobody was really buying the superhero gimmick. There was a few people that were, but not a lot. And she won Money in the Bank. And then was able to parlay it and won the title
24 hours later.
So the thing is with this is that how many people, and I'm really going to open this even to you, Anthony, and to you, Mike. How many people have been saying that Liv deserves to be the champion now?
A lot.
A lot.
Including
Remember
us.
the night that we were in Providence for the Monday Night Raw? Not the Backlash, but for Monday Night Raw in November. Yes.
November 1st. Yep.
Remember that night?
Yeah, the backstage segment with her and Becky.
Exactly. But remember how mega over she was? Even though it was a pre-show fight. I wasn't there to watch it because I was getting myself ready for Raw. But remember that. Remember how the crowd reaction was for her when she came out on the main event for that match? And how over she was?
Absolutely.
And you alluded to it, Florio?
Sure.
That's the same thing that we're getting right now. The same thing we're getting right now. These fans have been clamoring, wanting, begging for Liv Morgan to win the title for a long time now. And here's the thing. Even though Kevin Dunn's probably not, because of all the stuff that's been happening now, Dunn is out of power. McMahon is out of power. Laurinaitis probably out of power now too, but Laurinaitis was not really the main guy. But Vince and Kevin Dunn were. Now, supposedly, if you believe the rumors, Monday Night Raw and even SmackDown right now is being run by Stephanie, Triple H, and Paul Heyman. The last time I heard, Stephanie is very high on Liv Morgan. So is Triple H. Triple H loves her.
NXT
loves
product,
Liv.
of course.
NXT product, loves the look. Is it possible this could be the moment? Is it actually possible that they pull the trigger and give Liv the moment? Listening to the fans?
Considering who else is in this match? Absolutely.
So there is no stretch of the imagination that Liv could win this. And if she does, now the question becomes, who does she go after? Now, the thing is that here's the danger. You got Bianca Belair for Monday Night Raw. You got Ronda Rousey right now for SmackDown. Those are two. You're going to be not only a major underdog, but there is a real legit fear that if Liv goes after either one of them,
fails.
There is a very good possibility she fails.
No woman has ever failed yet.
No
woman has ever failed.
That's what I mean.
Every woman that won.
There is a legit threat that if Liv wins and goes after either Bianca or Ronda, that the odds of her winning, I hate to say this, is very slim. And I honestly believe she will fail. She will not win the title if she cashes in, especially on Ronda. No way.
Absolutely.
If she goes after Ronda, she's dead meat. She's gone. There's no way she's winning that fight.
Not a snowball's chance.
That's a book it. Ronda wins. There's a failed cash in. With Bianca, because of how high Bianca is and how great she's been, I don't think Liv wins. I don't think Liv wins that either. So she's really going to have to wait for either Ronda to get hurt, Bianca to get hurt, or she might need to wait for someone else to win the championship before she goes and jumps. If she gets it.
What about her former partner, Rhea Ripley?
That's another problem. That's a major problem. Because we saw what Rhea Ripley has been, but if you believe the rumors that we've been hearing, Rhea Ripley suffered a significant injury not too long ago.
But they're saying
but
they're saying it's not as bad as it was reported. And she could be back. She could be back, and there is a chance that she could be back very shortly. And who knows? Maybe she could be back in time for SummerSlam.
So, because they were saying that she had minor swelling in the brain. That's what it was. That I guess she suffered. Right? Huh?
It's something with the teeth, right?
Well, yeah, there was something about the teeth because I guess she got kneed into the face, but the knee itself hit her in the right spot. She suffered a little bit of some orbital bone damage, but the swelling went all the way up to the brain, but not in a major severe way because they were classifying it as a concussion. That's what it was at first. Then we got word about the swelling in the brain, and that's when everybody started freaking out, saying, wait a minute, this is not just a typical injury, this is serious. But now they're saying, no, the swelling has gone down. She's okay. Yeah, there was some dental damage that she needed to get redone. That's why we haven't seen her. But yeah, I mean, it's been crazy. It's been crazy what's been going on. So who knows how it plays out? But yeah, um, we'll see.
Yeah, we sure will. So that's it's a lot to digest, but we'll elaborate a great deal more about that on Friday night. So with that being said, I believe now this is where we get to the big moment here. Vince McMahon comes out, introduces John Cena, monster pop for John Cena. I didn't really hear too much of the John Cena sucks from the fans that we've grown to love over the years, but I think there were a lot more cheers this time around. Almost like a year ago when he came back at Money in the Bank, which had MF screaming, I'm done," which I'll never forget for as long as I live. But anyways, John Cena stood in the ring, monster ovation. The roster was out there. To greet him as he came out. And then Cena gave a speech, and wow. There is no question about it. This was hands down the segment of the night. I mean, nice moment for John Cena there. I mean, whether you love him or you hate him, you damn sure can't help but respect him. I mean, 20 years. I mean, he's the second of three men who are celebrating 20 years of WWE this year. We already had the first in Randy Orton, and now tonight with John Cena, and next month will be the 20-year anniversary of Rey Mysterio. And I am hopeful that WWE will acknowledge and do something equally as nice for Rey Mysterio next month. And I believe it would coincide with that go home to SummerSlam Raw from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, on Monday night, July 25th. So a special moment for John Cena. I mean, 20 years. I mean, we talked about it with Randy Orton a couple months ago when he had his big 20-year celebration. Cena got the proper moment here. Nobody interrupted. He had the crowd in the palm of his hands like he always does. We all know how much he commands their respect. And I'll tell you what, and I told Bullock this during our Raw chat, and MF, you're hearing this for the first time. The promo, the speech that John Cena gave tonight, that's the same kind of speech I would give if it was me. I mean, especially, I mean, and of course that would most certainly come from, my being a man of good faith and all that nowadays. And a lot of that would definitely play into that. And it was a beautiful speech by John Cena. I loved it. And definitely, it was definitely a special moment. And, I mean, I was moved. I mean, let me tell you, when that man speaks, we all listen. And you could sit, I mean, it was almost like a pastor preaching. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, he was preaching, and it was almost like he took us to church tonight, and I loved it. And that's the exact kind of promo I would cut if it was me. And as I've said on the show before, I'll say it again. John Cena has been one of the many inspirations as to why I'm the man I am today. I've got a little John Cena in me. This John Cena, whereas the Thugonomics Cena, that's more MF. MF was more of the Thugonomics throwback jersey Cena that we used to have fun with back in the day. And but you think of everything he has done, all the accomplishments, the 16 world titles, the U.S. titles, his tag team titles, 2 Royal Rumble wins, and and of course, a Money in the Bank winner in his own right in 2012. But not just what he does in the ring, but what he does out of the ring. Triple H even said it, or one of the guys said it. Talked about him being an ambassador for the company, and that's exactly what he is. I mean, he is an ambassador, and and then of course what he's done, mainly because of his work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. 659 wishes he's granted and counting. And of course, his Hollywood accolades, all the movies he's done, from the Marine movie to the Peacemaker, the animated movies he's done, his hosting, all those hosting gigs he's gotten, with Today's Show and Ellen DeGeneres, and the award shows that he's hosted and the whole 9 yards. And 13-time WWE champion, 3-time World Heavyweight champion, 5-time United States Heavyweight champion, 2-time co-holder of the World Tag Team Championships, one with Dave Bautista, one with Shawn Michaels, the Money in the Bank ladder match in 2012, 2008 and 2013 Royal Rumble winner. Of course, 2008, obviously the more special of the two, because of the fact that he came back way earlier than scheduled from a very devastating injury that we thought was going to keep him out in excess of maybe a year. He was back in a good 3 to 4 months and won the Royal Rumble from the number 30 spot. He also won 10 Slammy Awards, and what else is there to say? I mean, all the history he's made, and just everything he's done for this business. I mean, whether you like the man or not, you damn sure cannot help but respect everything that the champ has done in his 20-year career. And I know he hasn't passed away, and I know he hasn't, called it a career or anything, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't care. John Cena, for 20 years, on behalf of all of us here at Talking Wrestling TXN, we simply want to say thank you for the memories, thank you for the continued inspiration, and thank you for John Cena, for being you. It's like the late great Mr. Rogers always said. When it comes to John Cena, it's very simple what he does. Wherever he goes, he makes each day a special day. And he knows how, by just him being himself. I always tell people you can be a blessing to someone. Nobody has epitomized the word blessing to others than John Cena has. Beautiful speech. I was moved. And if I'm a little on the stuttery side of things, that's how moved I was. I mean, it damn near tugged at me. That's how touched I was. Beautiful. So there isn't much more to say. MF. I mean, the John Cena of now, that's more me. You were more of the Thugonomics Cena, but all I know is 20 years for John Cena in WWE. I can't believe it. 20 years to the day of his very first match against Kurt Angle, when he said ruthless aggression on that SmackDown after the King of the Ring in Chicago. Slapped Kurt Angle in the face, and then bada boom. Who would have? I mean, we're like, okay, yeah, he's young kid, whatever. But who would have thought that 20 years later he would be what many are considering the greatest of all time in the history of the WWE? So, not much more to say. Segment of the night for me, MF. I mean, what else is there to say that hasn't been said? 20-year anniversary, well deserved. John Cena, what a moment tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well loved by the WWE universe. Love him or hate him, you gotta respect him, and I'll even say it, even acknowledge him, because he is one of the greats. First ballot Hall of Famer. Whenever he decides to hang it up, he'll be in the WWE Hall of Fame. He should be in every professional wrestling Hall of Fame when it's all said and done. He will arguably go down as one of the greatest showmen in WWE history. Now, obviously, his wrestling abilities, his wrestling skills will get called into question. There's no doubt about it. However, as far as his entertainment value, his marketability, and just for him being such a stand-up guy and a stand-up individual, through his various charity works, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is greatly it's greatly emphasized, and to be as amazing and an approachable in an era that not many wrestlers does that anymore. John Cena is without a doubt one of the greatest individuals in wrestling today. Like I said, you can question his wrestling ability, and there was a lot of times through the years where he got the "you can't wrestle" chant. And he is without a doubt one of the most visceral individuals in wrestling, where you get the "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks" chant. Mainly the "Let's go Cena" from the children and the women. The "Cena sucks" from the 18 to 45 men. Let's call them out. You know who you are. We're not. There's no denying. You can't say that there's a few times where that's where that crank comes from. So at the end of the day, John Cena has paved the way for many stars and for many guys in WWE and vice versa. So that paraded line that he had earlier at the beginning of the night was without a doubt a great thing. The line that he got when he was coming out for when he was introduced, that was amazing. And then the speech itself was very revealing, very humble, and it was exactly what it needed it to be. A true celebration for one of the greats in the game and one person that truly deserves that great moment. And I think that's why it really stuck with the fans. It stuck with myself, it stuck with Anthony, it stuck with Michael Bullock. And the reason why that we love it so much is because of the fact that we had that respect, and that mutual respect for John Cena is why he is what he is. And to many people, and in a lot of people's mind, you could openly admit probably one of the best in the game today. So, mad respect, much love for John Cena, and there's really nothing more to say. So, yeah, Michael Bullock, it's all yours, my friend.
Like you said, I mean, what can you say? I mean, a 20-year career for John Cena. I mean, like you said, 20 years ago, and he stared right into the eyes of Kurt Angle, and he uttered the words "ruthless aggression." First, we were thinking, yeah, this is just another ham and egger jabroni, but he was anything but that. And you saw right after the match, I mean, backstage where he got that major respect from the Undertaker. I mean, I'll never forget that. And I mean, that's one person I was surprised we didn't get to hear from. I mean, maybe just a little congratulations from, and that's the Undertaker. I mean, we heard from a lot of the other people, but where was the Undertaker tonight? I mean, that's the only thing I question. But other than that, I mean, think of all the superstars this man has faced. I mean, the list is so long, it would take me the entire night to go through it. But of course, we all know his work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, making more wishes than anybody. And I mean, whether you love the guy or you hate him, you gotta respect him. And yeah, we hear the "Let's go Cena" from the kids, while the 18 to 45 with the "Cena sucks." but it doesn't matter who you are. You have to respect what he has done for this company for so long. So, congratulations, John Cena, and who knows what's next for you. So, there's really nothing more for me to say. Let's move on.
Indeed, and we move on to a 2-on-1 handicap match. The Alpha Academy. Chad Gable and Otis versus Bobby Lashley. Theory serving as the special guest enforcer. Lashley wins the match. Lashley wins the match 8 minutes and 15 seconds, putting Chad Gable in the Hurt Lock. MF, good momentum for Bobby Lashley going into his U.S. title match against Theory Saturday night at Money in the Bank. MF, are you there? Your thoughts on this match here? He might have. I think he may have stepped away for a moment. Oh, there he is. Okay. All right, we got it. MF, Bobby Lashley defeating the Alpha Academy in a handicap match, 8:15, with a Hurt Lock on Chad Gable for the tap out win.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, it's just momentum for our good friend here, for Bobby Lashley, as he's about to fight for the United States Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank against Theory. So it was a good win, good momentum type moment, and now there's nothing left. You just hope and pray for the best. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's just let's see how it plays out. And it was a solid match. I'm not gonna go too much into it. I could say maybe 2.5. So really nothing more to say. So Bullock, it is indeed yours.
Yeah, 2.5 for me. It really wasn't anything that special. It was just there. But it does give Bobby Lashley some momentum going to that United States title match against Theory on Saturday night. So, not going to elaborate too much further on it. So, it's yours, Florio.
I'll give it 2.5 to 2 3/4 for the effort. It had the usual pace of a handicap match. The numbers game played a big part in keeping Lashley on defense, but they did a good job making it look like he was always on a moment away from making a comeback. Everything that the three guys in the ring did was fine, but nothing stood out about this at all. It felt like a filler match in a larger feud because that's exactly what it was. It wasn't bad, but nobody's going to be talking about it by tomorrow. The Almighty scored the win, but Theory and Alpha Academy jumped them. So 2.5, 2 3/4. And now to the main event of the evening, the women's last chance Money in the Bank qualifying match. It was a 6-pack elimination match. Becky Lynch versus Xia Li versus Doudrop versus Nikki ASH versus Tamina versus Shayna Baszler. Xia Li, the first eliminated by Becky Lynch at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And then at 4 minutes and 35 seconds, Nikki ASH eliminated by Becky Lynch. Shayna Baszler eliminated by Doudrop at 11 minutes. Tamina eliminated by Doudrop in 12 minutes and 25 seconds. So it came down to Becky Lynch and Doudrop at the end. And the winner of the match, in a total time of 13 minutes and 20 seconds, and qualifying and earning the final spot in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, big time Becky Lynch. Michael Bullock, yes, the outcome was predictable, but a very good women's 6-pack elimination match to close out this go-home tonight.
Yeah, I'll give this about maybe 3 3.25 for this. It was a solid way to close out the show, and the outcome was predictable. I had a feeling that Becky Lynch was going to somehow get into the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So 3 3.25. It's yours.
3 1/4, 3.5 for me. First half of this match didn't have much to it, but the second half picked up steam a bit. Seeing Becky get a win after a bit of a losing streak was nice to see. Xia Li needs to be given more chances to perform with top stars. Her brief exchange with Becky Lynch was good. The finish with Becky Lynch and Doudrop was great, where Becky with that manhandle slam from the middle rope for the win. And that's really all there is to say on that. So those were the two big takeaways from that. But the outcome was never in doubt. We saw it coming. We all saw it from a mile away. And no surprise here, but boy, howdy, it was a very good match. So 3 1/4, teetering on 3.5 for this. So not much more to say. MF, your girl, the man, gets the last spot in what's going to be a stacked women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
I hate to say it, boys, but I think we just found a new odds-on favorite to win. I think Big Time Bex is going to win Money in the Bank on Saturday. And if there's one person that could become champion and successfully cash in, she's it. She's the one. And now the question becomes, does she want to go after Bianca? Or does she roll the dice and go after Ronda?
And finally,
there's some unfinished business between her and Ronda Rousey.
We never got the one-on-one.
We never got the one-on-one.
We should have.
We never got it.
Nia Jax ruined it.
Yeah. So this could happen. And people's been waiting for it. As a matter of fact, there was supposedly a plan in place for a Becky versus Ronda at a WrestleMania. Now, it never happened, never came to fruition, because for some odd reason they decided they wanted to throw Charlotte Flair into the mix. Fine, no problem. And then that led to the winner take all. Now, Ronda's the champion. Becky is now in Money in the Bank. And you get that briefcase, you get that contract, you're guaranteed a shot anytime, any place, anywhere up to 1 year. The last time we had somebody win it and hold it all the way to WrestleMania was her husband, Seth Rollins. He held on to it, cashed it in at WrestleMania. The heist of the century was born. I think now, with Becky Lynch being in that match, it propels her all the way to the top. And as a matter of fact, I'll go as far to say it, I believe now she is the odds-on favorite to win it. So this was a great match. This was about a 3 1/4, 3.5 star bout. Was the ending in doubt? Never in the ending was never really in doubt. I'm happy Becky won. I'm ecstatic she won. Can she parlay that and go for something even bigger on Saturday night? I'm so used to thinking Sunday, but it is Saturday. It is on a Saturday night, which is awesome. I can't wait to see what happens here. Becky Lynch, I believe, is going to win Money in the Bank. I think this was her moment and her opportunity, and I do believe it's gonna pay off. Yes, there's a lot of great contenders there. There's a lot of great women that probably deserves to be there at the end. But Becky Lynch has never won a Money in the Bank ladder match. As a matter of fact, I believe this is her first time being in Money in the Bank. I don't think she's ever...
No, she's been in it before. 2017 and 18.
Oh, all right. But she's yet to win it all.
That's right.
She hasn't won it all. So I think this could be the year. I think they're going to give it to Big Time Bex. I think Becky is going to rise to the occasion one more time. For me, personally, sentimental is Liv. But I got to be realistic here. I think Becky wins it. I think she wins Money in the Bank. But instead of going after the Raw title, I think she's going to go after Ronda. I honestly believe she's going to go after Ronda Rousey and get that dream fight that we've been waiting for. That's my personal opinion. Just my thoughts alone.
Wow.
Yeah. Michael, Bullock, is it go to Bullock?
No, Bullock led off.
All right. So I guess it's back to you, Anthony.
All right. That's definitely something to think about. No question about that. I mean, could we, boy, if Becky does go after Ronda, ooh, that means Becky, we could end up seeing big time back on Team Blue. And I know that would be a major coup for MF and the SmackDown Women's Division if they get big time. So, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see what happens Saturday night. So, overall review here, and I'll be honest, one of the better Raws we've had in quite some time. I mean, I know we've had a lot of blech Raws lately, but you know, we had a good 3, maybe 4 good matches on this show tonight, and of course, John Cena, obviously. Bookended by 2 very good Money in the Last Chance qualifier match with that men's battle royal and that women's 6-pack elimination match. And Montez Ford and Jey Uso, solid match. Another one of the top fights of the night. The handicap match was solid, not only spectacular, but solid. And yeah, we did have a couple of cutout things here, but not as bad as it usually is. And AJ and The Miz even had a good match tonight. But then again, look who Miz was in the ring with. He was in there with AJ freaking Styles, who could carry anybody. He could carry the greenest talent in the world to a passable match. And he did just that. But of course, what really did it tonight, John Cena. The John Cena celebration definitely carried this show tonight. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That carried the show, and they delivered, I thought, very good hype for Money in the Bank on Saturday night. So because of all this, I'm gonna give this an excess of 7 to 7.5. One of the better Raws we've had in some time. And we can almost assuredly thank John Cena for that. So thank you, Cena. All there is to say on that. So 7.5 for me. Good momentum for Team Red going into Money in the Bank. So with that, MF, one of the better Raws we've had in some time.
Yeah, this was an incredible Monday Night Raw. This was a solid event, no doubt about it. It was amazing. It was great. It was hard hitting, and yeah, I'll give it 7 out of 10. I thought they did an incredible job. So yeah, nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, 7 to 7.5 for me. Definitely one of the better Raws in a long time. Obviously culminated with the 20-year celebration for John Cena. I mean, you had some good matches and some okay matches, some cutouts, but all in all, a good edition of Raw. So 7.5. Florio, it's yours.
Yep, and of course, you know what time it is. It's time for my Tony's Take, as always. My traditional one, and excuse me. So you know how we do it. Impact Wrestling from this past week, as well as NXT Level Up from this past Friday. So with all that being said, let's dive on in. For Impact Wrestling, this was the fallout from Slammiversary, the 20th anniversary celebration, and we started it out with an in-ring segment. Honor No More. They cut a vindictive promo, interrupted. Oh, get ready for this. Mark out moment, MF. America's Most Wanted, the Cowboy James Storm, and the Wildcat Chris Harris. Oh boy, that's throwback. Oh yeah. One of our personal favorite tag teams in the history of Impact Wrestling, no doubt about it. That was a very good segment to start the show, no doubt about it. It's probably the most, and then of course the Good Brothers and the Briscoes got involved, and something happened with that. They got a big event coming up Friday night. They're doing an Impact Plus special, bringing back one of the original Impact pay-per-view events. Although this is an Impact Plus special, Against All Odds, and I'll have a quick rundown of that card in a little bit. But great segment to start off the show. Then we had a match, a knockouts match, Mia Yim versus Chelsea Green. Mia Yim wins the match, 3 stars, solid match, but the clear interference was bad luck and made things feel kind of silly at the end. But overall, Chelsea and Mia delivered a good opening match. Then we had Bhupinder Gujar and Shark Boy squaring off against Johnny Swinger and Zicky Dice. And it was Shark Boy and Gujar with the win. 2.5 stars. Not a technical masterpiece, but a fine little comedy match. Not sure it did much for Gujar, especially given the post-match, but it could lead to something down the road. Impact World Heavyweight Champion Josh Alexander squaring off against Cody Deaner. Josh Alexander wins the match via submission. Not often we hear that. 2 3/4 star. Fine, but a glorified job match as expected. Deaner actually did really well in this role, even if it wasn't a match I was really anxious to see. Then we had Sami Callihan in a squash over Jack Price. Nothing really to speak of there. Wait till he and Moose are going to square off again at that Against All Odds special Friday night. Wait till you hear the match they're going to have on Friday night. Oh. I can't wait to hear what MF has to say about this, because it's a throwback. Then we had Honor No More versus the Briscoes and James Storm, and Honor No More wins the match. 2 3/4 star, fine 6-man tag, and it was nice to see Honor No More win in a clean fashion here. It feels like they lose too much, even if it's not actually a lot. Mark Briscoe taking the pin was a surprise, but interesting. 6.5 out of 10, though. The build to Against All Odds is going to be rushed, and in such, I feel like we're going to get a couple of okay episodes of Impact in between, and that's what we got here. Not a blowaway show, but not awful by any means. Not really feeling any of the current storylines, but I recognize that they're essentially filler as we build to the next live event they have planned. And I'm curious to see how that pans out, given the quick promotion for it. Matches were all okay, but not anything really must-see this time around. So I'm just going to leave it at that. This Friday night is the Against All Odds special. And in a matter of moments, I'm going to give you that card. And it's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, and wait till you hear what's on it. I don't think I have the final card. There's only 5 matches announced, but I'm going to get to that in just a little bit. But coming up this upcoming week on Impact Wrestling, as this will obviously be the go home for the Against All Odds show. Just bear with me for a moment. I'm pulling it up. All right. Chris Sabin goes one-on-one with Frankie Kazarian. Knockouts champion Jordan Grace versus Savannah Evans. That's going to be a one-man fight, no doubt about it. Chris Bay versus Steve Macklin versus Laredo Kid versus Trey Miguel in a 4-way for an X Division title match against the new champion, Speedball Mike Bailey. Ace Austin goes up against Alex Zane, and Giselle Shaw goes one-on-one with Rosemary. That's Thursday, Access TV for the Impact Wrestling show. As far as what's been announced for Against All Odds Friday night, get ready for this. Josh Alexander will defend the Impact World Heavyweight Championship against Joe Doring. James Storm and the Good Brothers, along with 2 other competitors. It was supposed to be the Briscoe brothers, but they're out with injuries. So Storm and the Good Brothers and 2 other partners will team up against Honor No More in a 10-man tag. Jordan Grace is going to defend the Knockouts Championship against the former champion Tasha Steelz. Mia Yim and Mickie James are going to team up against Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo. And Sami Callihan versus Moose. MF, are you ready for this? In a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match.
Oh, whoa. We haven't seen that in ages.
What do you know about it?
Clockwork House of Fun this was actually created by Raven.
Yep.
All those years ago. It's no holds barred. Anything goes. It is their version of it's Twisted. It's sick. It's twisted. It is guaranteed to be bloody.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. If you're a hardcore enthusiast as I am, this is the one you want to see.
I hope you got a chance to see their match from Slammiversary, MF.
Oh, it was good. I heard it. I heard about it.
They damn near stole the show. That's all I'm saying. So I just wanted to share that. Those are the only matches announced. I assume that X Division match is probably going to be on that show as well. So I will have I'll have a brief recap of it next week in my Tony. Well, we'll figure that out. But for right now, let's get into NXT Level Up, and then we'll wrap it up here. Let's see. And I'll tell you what, this was not a good show. I'm going to tell you right now. Quincy Elliott versus Bryson Montana. Quincy Elliott, 5 minutes and 7 seconds. I like the finisher from Elliott. Not much else. Half a star rating. Kiana James versus Brooklyn Barlow. Kiana James wins in 5 minutes and 15 seconds. I enjoyed this a little more than the opener, but it was still just super basic mat work and a few high spots until the win. That was a 1-star effort. Then it was Iki Manjiro versus Ru Fang. Iki Manjiro in 5:27. And good for Ikiman. He looks like a star on this show. The match was, again, super basic, but Ikiman provides enough entertainment to keep us engaged. And I liked when the main event of this show got more time and it had a couple of bigger names, but these kids working with Jiro will help. That was a 1.5. Not a good show. It was a 4 out of 10. 3 short, super basic matches, as is the norm for the show. Not that it's a bad thing, as the purpose of the show was to get these kids out in front of a crowd. Hopefully, as 2.0 continues doing house shows, it will help them as well. Super easy show to watch, but just understand what you are getting with this show. Even for this, it seemed below average. So it was a 4 out of 10. So that will put the bow on this. MF, what's your status for this week so we can plug the shows appropriately? Because we got Wednesday Night Madness coming up this week, as we will be reviewing the AEW New Japan Forbidden Door pay-per-view. We'll get into that on Wednesday, along with NXT 2.0 and AEW Dynamite. This is the week, Blood and Guts in Detroit. Thursday, we got TXN Sports World, special edition, our 2022 NBA Draft recap. And I forgot, MF will have his Big 3 basketball report as well, his latest installment of it. And then we got the Cerebral Smack Talk on Friday night with our review of Friday Night SmackDown, AEW Rampage, and our preview of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And then we'll take it from there. So until Wednesday night, for Wednesday Night Madness, it's Anthony Florio here, for Good Old MF Michael Fletcher, and in spirit, the Phenom Michael Bullock, and the First Lady Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up, Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed couple of days. And until Wednesday night, for Wednesday Night Madness, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. And remember, no matter what anyone says, beyond anything else, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.